Being cringe is the most exhausting feeling of the speaking. I promise you have heard a lot of words like the only way to improve speaking is by speaking, but you're still afraid to open your mouth to speak it out, no matter to learning a new language or conduct a public speech in your home language. So in this video today, I will share my approach about why we feel cringe when we're speaking and how to overcome it to build up our confidence in whatever language, whatever occasion. Hello everyone, if you are new here, my name is York. I'm a trilingual consultant who's speaking English, Korean, and Chinese in my work and daily life. Also, I currently learning Japanese along the way. Maybe because I have a multicultural background and I play a consultant role, so I'm able to speak with different people in different language every single day. So I know your pain point and I generated 2 plus 2 steps based on my experience. Lower the standard, being selfish, refine the gaps, and implement the approach. The first 2 steps are aimed to lower the cost of speaking, and the last 2 is aimed to build your confidence of speaking. So 4 tips in total to overcome 2 types of fears: the fear of making mistakes and the fear of others' judgments. Okay, let me explain the first step. Lower the cost by lowering your standard. What does it mean? Our human beings are developed through building the social connections, and the language is the key. Writing, reading, listening can be done by myself, but speaking is the only section that aims to communicate with others face to face. Shortly, comparing with others' rate, the cost of making mistakes in speaking is high. The cost of being excluded by cultural society is beyond the cost of making mistakes in the learning. So our brain just tells us, shut up and just be silent. That's the reason why I have dumb English. Since I have learned English for 10 years in the public school, but it still doesn't change anything. So lower the standard of mistakes. On the one hand, lower the standard of speaking side, which is us. You should know as a human being, there is no perfect speaking on this planet. You need to allow yourself to make mistakes. Of course, everyone should be keen to speak correctly in their grammar. But I mean here is to not be a perfectionism. Because even native speakers that have grammar mistakes, I still have a bunch of mistakes in speaking English. I still pronounce Chinese characters wrong and I still have accent in Korean. But in speaking field, small mistakes doesn't ruin the whole conversation. On the other hand, lower the standard of listeners' side. I have an Asian face, but when I was in Japan, they assumed I can speak a fluent Japanese there, but I can't. So for this, I teach you a prefix I always learn at the beginning when I learn a new language every single time. I share with you, it's 申し訳ありませんか?私の日本語はあまり上手でありませんか? I can't speak Japanese well, but could you please tell me blah blah blah? For others are the same. If you are learning another language like Chinese, in addition to just study 谢谢你好, you should learn 不好意思,我中文不是很好,但我想请问, 죄송하지만 저 한국어 잘 못하는데요. 혹시 I always use this prefix as my first sentence to start a new conversation because first it shows the respect for listeners because I speak your language. The second is give myself a leeway to let small mistakes happen naturally. It's okay to make a mistake. If you talk in common language, that's communicating with someone. If you're talking in their language, that's directly communicating into someone's heart. Step 2. Lower the cost by being selfish. But why being selfish with comma? I just keep recording in the daytime, so let's keep going. Sometimes it seems like we are afraid of making mistakes. But in fact, what we truly afraid is others' judgments. You think others will never make fun of you and not judging you and encourage you, right? In many cases, yes, but you can't take it for granted. Think everyone will do like that. I tell you a hard truth. Even though others know you are just a learner, people still make fun of you, judge you. I know you maybe never met this kind of person in your daily life, but I was in overseas many years. I barely see this type of people in my daily life. But there's a Chinese proverb said, it's better to believe something is true and be prepared than to making mistakes because of not believing something exists. As a learner, especially a language learner, you should believe that bottom line, people will judge you and make fun of you just because your accent, your skin color, or something else. Because you are you. It is. Otherwise, you are naive enough to be hurt by the heartbreaking comments, criticism, start ego checking, and give up. Language is a tool for communication, but when we are learning a language as a learning purpose, it's not for others, it's just for yourself. To focusing myself is generally described as selfish, but it's not. In here, more accurately, it should be described as solipsism. View that the self is all that can be known to exist, no others in your inner world. We need to apply this philosophy to hone in our learning behavior. Others' judgment exists, but is nothing helpful to contribute to your progress, because learning is a highly self-centered behavior. The only person who gets benefits from it is you. So if you start to do not care too much about others' voice outside, there is no cause to open your mouth anymore. Step 3. Refine the gaps. If the first 2 steps I talked, I aim to lower the cost of speaking. From this step is for accelerating the improvement of your confidence. If you start any conversation in your target language, like step 1, during the conversation you should find the gaps between native speakers and you, because you will find a new words, new vocabs or lexicon to use, and also even some old phrases which you already learned. You can realize, oh, they can be used in this context. The only way to improve your speaking skills is only by speaking. This is fucking boring, but it's correct. But we can use in a more interesting way, because from the conversation we can just pick up at least one word or one phrase and put in the notes, and you can use this word next conversation. Find the gaps and refine it. You will use in your next conversation, and this is big progress in your speaking skills. Step 4 is give yourself an evidence. This evidence is speaking every day to contribute to your identity as a speaker. This step is just following with the step 3. After you refine it, use it and implement in your next conversation, and ask for others' suggestions. I have met many language learners in my daily life, in the working place, during the consultation and coaching the students. I found a common part from them, including me at the beginning. They always identify themselves as language learners instead of language speakers. As a beginner, we spontaneously identify as we are just a learner. Speaking is after I learning well, and then I can speak out this language. But what we don't know is, speaking it is one part of learning. If you want to be a type of person can speak confidently, concise, accurate, like a elite, you need to see it exists in your daily life at first. So the best cue is that you see there is a lot of people in your daily life speak your target language while you are learning, like me, and be that type of person. And every time you open your mouth to start to talk, even though there are a bunch of mistakes in your speaking, but at least this behavior is a vote yourself to be a speaker. Speaking English in my daily life is vote myself, I am an English speaker. Speaking Chinese, I am Chinese speaker. Speaking Korean, I am a Korean speaker. Speaking Japanese, I'm a Japanese learner. This is what I learned from Atomic Habits and hone in the language learning. Every behavior change is habits change. At the beginning, you don't need to care about how many mistakes you made or how accurate you speak, how beautiful you speak, how many vocabs you applied on your speaking. You don't care about all of them. What you do is just open your mouth, or even just read the scripts, read aloud so that you can hear your own voice. That's enough. This is the best evidence to give yourself to be that person. I hope you learned something from this video. Lower the cost of making mistakes and increase the odds of speaking confidently. We are already in the October. I believe just 3 months you will see a significant improvement until the end of the 2024. Still, if you have any comments or thoughts, please leave in the comments. I appreciate that. Give a like and subscribe button and consider to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.